Yeah, I mean, these are very dramatic revelations, and it's interesting that for so long we've heard so much about the alleged mistakes and failures of India when it went into Pakistan and launched that retaliatory airstrike. There's been all this debate in Pakistan that in fact India never hit terrorists; it hit trees instead. But we have not heard as much about what happened in terms of the Pulwama attack itself. So yeah, I mean, this is really devastating. Devastating revelations. We're not just talking about one or two, but we're talking about a number of them. And this gentleman has gone down the list and really implicated a number of very senior officials in India. And what I find particularly striking is that, predictably, the BJP has responded to and rejected these allegations, but in a very weak fashion, in my sense. I mean, basically, we've heard BJP leaders say, "Oh well, this is someone that makes U-turns. He's criticized Rahul Gandhi in the past." That to me does not sound like they're exactly refuting or even casting doubt on the allegations that have been laid out here by Mr. Malik. So, yeah, it's quite striking. Obviously, this is going to be something that gives the opposition in India something to really jump on at a moment when the opposition is all but dead in India. But I think final point on this, and hearing these revelations that were made in this interview, and how there was this emphasis on top Indian leaders insisting that everything stay quiet, nothing be said about what went wrong and all. Keep in mind the timing, right? I mean, as you know, February 2019 was just a few months before elections in India, and India's government really used the whole crisis with Pakistan as part of its election campaign by arguing that we acted boldly and swiftly to avenge these attacks on our troops. So I think that if ever there was a time where India would have wanted to keep quiet about possible concerns about intelligence failures and all, it would have been back then when we were just a few weeks from a national election. I mean, I don't think it's going to change the calculus all that much. I mean, we know that in Pakistan, there's long been a suspicion that something wasn't right. And again, a lot of the focus is focused on what India said it did when it launched the retaliatory airstrike. But there's always been suspicions in Islamabad that all that happened wasn't being admitted, and so on and so forth. So this will certainly give Pakistan's government something to latch onto, which it already has, of course. I know the foreign ministry has issued a statement in response to this. Whereas I think that in India, this will give the BJP an opportunity to simply double down and essentially say that we have, those that are trying to be anti-nationalists and cast dispersions on what we've done, that type of thing. So, it is a moment where the India-Pakistan relationship is relatively calm. Really, since the two countries signed that border truce about 2 years ago, the relationship, despite some angry rhetoric on both sides, has been relatively calm. And so I think that that's not going to change. I mean, the rhetoric will ratchet up. Again, we've already heard this response from the Pakistani foreign ministry. But I don't really see this as something that could become a trigger for, an escalation in tensions or anything like that.